What's up, softball players? Today we're going to go over some softball pitching mental skills training, and basically we're going to break down your in-game mental training as it pertains to being on the rubber, behind the rubber, and outside of the circle, and what you're going to think about in the situational stuff you're going to think about while you're prepping for each pitch. So if you're new to my channel, I'm Coach Dan Blewett. I do videos on throwing, on strength training, on mental training, and I was a baseball pitcher, so I know a lot about the strategic side of the game as well. So what we're going to go through today is how you can improve your game and your thought process as you're going hitter to hitter. So stick around, subscribe to my channel, and let's get to it. So the first part of your in-game pitching strategy is what you do when you're outside of the circle. So when you're outside of the circle, this is your time to go through your huge checklist of overall big strategic things. This is: what inning is it? What's the score? Where are the runners? What are my duties if I get a comebacker? If I get a bunt to the right side, to the left side? Who's coming up this inning? What do they do against me? What's the scouting report say? Where are my fielders? All those big in-game duties that you can't think about when you're trying to make your pitch are what you think about when you're outside the circle. That's when you look around the field and you say, okay, it's second and third. We're in the bottom of the fourth. It's 4, 5, 6 coming up. The 4 hitters hit 2 doubles today. The 5 hitter is 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. The 6 hitter is 1 for 2 with a walk and a triple, whatever. You're going through your game plan and you're assessing all the stuff, the tedious stuff, where you going with the comebacker, where are you backing up if there's a ball hit to the outfield. That's going to change pitch by pitch, but you're going to think about that stuff outside of the circle. The big game stuff, you check it off your list so that when you step inside the circle, you don't have to think about that stuff anymore. You've already rehearsed it through your brain, where you're going with the ball, and what are the big situational things that are happening around you. The second part, when you're inside the circle but you're not yet on the rubber, this is where you're getting more narrowly focused and you're thinking about who's up and what do I need to do to attack this hitter the best, and also who's on deck and who's on base. So you're getting a little more narrowly focused. This is, all right, this hitter is a righty. She's 0 for 2 against me. I punched her out with a rise ball last time. The runner on first is a stealing threat, so I need to be cognizant of that. My catcher and I, we need to coordinate. I need to still remember who's on deck because that's going to impact how I pitch to this hitter. And you're just kind of rehearsing all the stuff that you want to think about doing. And you're now starting to narrow in on what pitch am I going to throw to this hitter here. So when you start to reconsider who she is, what she's done today, who's on deck, who's on first, who's on second, now you start to think, okay, I'm probably going to go for, drop ball down or first pitch, change up, whatever it is. And then you have all that stuff, all your big situational stuff done. And now you're more narrowly focused in-game stuff done, again, hitter and like this pitch sort of specific stuff. And then you go, okay, I'm looking for rise ball when my catcher puts the signs down. Great. Now you step on the rubber, you get your sign, and now there's one thing you focus on. And this is the reason we went through all this other mental stuff. You don't want to be thinking about the runners anymore. You don't want to be thinking about a comebacker or where you go to back up on a ball in the gap. You don't want to have to think about any of that other stuff once you get on the rubber. Once you're on the rubber, you have one job, which is execute the pitch to the best of your ability that you have chosen. So if you've chosen a rise ball up, your job now is nothing except for executing and visualizing that pitch as best as you can. That's your only job as a pitcher, is to go one pitch at a time. And once you get on the rubber, that's the time where you have one job only. You have lots of jobs. You got to back up, you got to cover bases, you do lots of other stuff. But once you get on the rubber, you don't. You have one job to do, and that's execute the pitch that I've chosen, okay? So this mindset is really, really important. This is what all the best pitchers in the world do, whether it's baseball, softball. You have to get down the funnel, all the big stuff, narrow it down to the little stuff, which is ultimately, I'm going to throw a gem today, a complete game shutout, one pitch at a time. But I'm going to check everything off and make sure I've got my bases covered so that I can be mentally clear, knowing what else I have to do when I get to my one pitch mindset, which is execute this pitch. All right. Hopefully this video helped you. If you're a softball pitcher, I'm glad you're here. The mental side of the game is really important. So thanks for tuning in. Definitely share this with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you here next time.